wa serikali lazima ilipe lecturer so that we can be able to resume our studies.
Kwa serikali hasa Wizara ya Elimu, ningependa waweze kuwalipa ma lecturer mshahara kwa sababu wanafunzi wanaendelea kuumia. Wengine wanatoka mbali, familia ambazo hawajiwezi, na bado tunaendelea kuumia sana huko shule. Elimu, sisi kama wanafunzi tumechoka. Tunasikia tuko katika mazungumzo, siku inayofuata Wesonga anasema hiyo mazungumzo wamekataa. So sisi kama wanafunzi, baadhi ya wanafunzi tunatoka katika familia fukara sana. So ni heri mtuambie tuende nyumbani ama masomo inarejea. Kwa sababu mgomo ukiisha wakielewana na malecturer, hii sehemu itakuwa imeshaenda mbali. Ikifika February wanafunzi pia wataanza kugoma, wanataka help na sehemu bado.
And of course, there's still many other stories that we have in store for you. Right now, it is 56 minutes past 7 a.m. Time to take another short break here on the Morning Buzz show. But when we come back, we will be talking about stories regarding security in the country and many other stories from different parts of the country in different counties. So don't go too far. Keep it Ndizi TV Africa.
Unatazama Ndizi TV Africa.
Being healthy is a strive everybody longs for. Human beings will spend their time online searching remedies for conditions challenging them. Some will go to medical facilities seeking medical help, while others will use herbal means to keep their health hazards. I am Chimutai Kirui, and every week on Afya Yetu, we open the doors for life-changing conversations from wellness and nutrition, preventing diseases, managing chronic illnesses, and even mental health. We bring expert advice, real-life stories, and practical solutions that touch every part of your life. Join me, Chimutai Kirui, on Ndizi TV Africa Afya Yetu Health Show every Friday from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. and be part of the change.
Unatazama Ndizi TV Africa.
Kila jamii hapa Afrika, yani chini ya jua duniani, ina chimbuko lake. Ndani ya Ndizi TV Africa, katika kujua utamaduni wako, ndani ya utamaduni Afrika, tutaangazia kila jamii, tukianza na jamii ya Abagusi ambayo iko chini ya Bantu, jamii ya Mkamba, jamii ya Waluo. Vile vile tutaangazia kuhusiana na jamii ya Masai. Tutataka kujua ni mbona jamii inaenzi, ama ni mbona kila jamii inaenzi mila na tamaduni zake, na vipi hizi mila na desturi zina umuhimu gani katika utamaduni. Utapata mpaka leo jamii ya Masai inaenzi sana ufugaji wa mifugo. Kuna jamii ambazo zinaendeleza mila ambazo zimepitwa na wakati, mfano ukeketaji wa wasichana, kitu ambacho jamii nyingi hazienzi kamwe, kukeketa wasichana. Haya yote kuhusu mila na desturi na utamaduni ni ndani ya kipindi Utamaduni Afrika katika runinga unayoenzi Ndizi TV Africa, kila siku ya Alhamisi saa 2 usiku. Kipindi kinaletwa kwako na Mwita Peter. Usikose.
Unatazama Ndizi TV Afrika.
Katika maisha ya kila siku, changamoto za kisheria sikosekani. Iwe ni haki zako kazini, masuala ya ndoa, mikataba mbalimbali, hata kwenye ardhi. Karibu kwenye Sheria na Jamii, kipindi kinachochambua masuala ya kisheria kwa undani zaidi. Hapa tutakuwa na wachambuzi wa sheria wa kusaidia wewe mpenzi mtazamaji kuelewa ni kipi kile sheria ya Kenya inasema.
Ni vizuri utumie sheria ambazo zimewekwa, the laws that are in place to help you control the properties even when you are dead.
Kwa mob justice, wale ambao wanahusika katika mob justice wanaweza kuletwa mbele ya mahakama na wakafunguliwa mashtaka, either iwe ni a murder charge or a manslaughter charge.
Kila siku ya Jumapili kuanzia saa 2 hadi saa 3 usiku hapa ndani ya Ndizi TV Africa, nami Jeff Nyakundi. Sheria na Jamii, tukielewa sheria tunajenga jamii yenye haki.
Unatazama Ndizi TV Afrika.
And welcome back to the Morning Buzz Show. Thank you for staying with Ndizi TV Africa this Wednesday morning. And of course, as we said before, it is the 5th day of November 2025. And we do appreciate you for always tuning in to Ndizi TV Africa's Morning Buzz Show. Now we move on with the morning report. And the family of a police officer killed while guarding the national examinations in Turkana County is now calling for justice following his tragic death. The late Crispin Ouma was reportedly attacked by unknown assailants who made their way with his rifle while he was on duty during the Kenya Junior Secondary Examination Assessment. Speaking from their home in Nyalike village in Homa Bay County, Ouma's relative described him as a dedicated officer whose loss has left a very deep void. They are now appealing to the government to ensure that those responsible are brought to justice.
Kwa majina naitwa Vera Mondi. Huyu mwenye amekufa ni bwanangu, na bwanangu ameniacha nikiwa mdogo sana, nikiwa na mtoto mdogo kabisa. So mimi naomba tu serikali anisaidie juu wakati alikuja nyumbani, alikuja August na tuliongelelea mambo mengi, tukaongea mambo mengi kuhusu biashara, like next year alikuwa anafaa nifungulie biashara, lakini venye amekufa saa hii hiyo mambo ya biashara ni kama imeisha tu hivyo. So mimi naomba tu serikali anisaidie kama wanaweza nipatia kazi ama tu biashara yote tu yenye inaweza ni sustain. Juu sasa venye ameenda hivi, yeye ndiye alikuwa breadwinner wa familia na ameniacha hapa na mamake pia amekuwa mkubwa. So mimi naomba tu serikali anisaidie. Yeah. Tuliongea Sunday usiku. Usiku tuliongea, mwisho tuliongea saa 3 usiku na yeye Sunday. Amekaa like 7 years kazini.
Sasa sina mengi la kusema. Tunaomba tu serikali watusaidie. Huyu ndugu yetu apate haki. Tunawaomba. Hiyo ndio niko nayo. Alikuwa hapa August. Ndio tulikuwa na yeye hapa. Tulikuwa tunaongea, kuna kitu tulikuwa tunataka kufanya. Kama huyu mama amesema, alikuwa anasema anataka kununua tanki hapa, na kuna zingine tulikuwa tunataka kufanya na hii. But kwa sasa hii nimebaki tu peke yangu. Sasa sijui kama nitafanya hizo vitu zangu zote. Sasa naomba tu hata school fees. Alikuwa anafundisha hao watoto wa brother wake. Kwa sasa hii hao watoto wamebaki. Sasa sijui nitaanza na wapi na nitamaliza na wapi. Sasa naomba tu serikali watusaidie mtoto wetu apate haki.
Na huyu simeji yangu ndio alikuwa ananifundishia mtoto, ameacha mtoto kwa form 2. Sijui vile nimesimama hapa nitaanza kwa wapi. Wa serikali mnisaidie nipate vile nitafundisha hao watoto na vile nitakula. Juu bwanangu alisakufa, aliniacha na watoto wadogo kwa nyumbani. Mama naye amebaki hapa kama amekwama kabisa, hata sijui tutamweka aje. Na vile nimesimama hata nimekosa mali, hata sijui niongee Kijaluo, Kisungu au Kiswahili. Juu nimeshindwa mahali nitaenda, nimeshindwa mahali nitafanya.
And of course, a sad story indeed. Now, moving on to other stories and more sad stories. Now, the government has asked residents of Elgeyo Marakwet County to relocate to safer areas following deadly floods and landslides that have claimed at least 34 lives so far. Authorities warn that many people remain in high-risk zone areas despite the continuous rainfall and unstable terrain. The government has pledged to provide both humanitarian support and long-term solutions to prevent future tragedies in that region.
Wananchi wote wa Elgeyo Marakwet ambayo wanakaa kwa milima na mahali ambayo inakaa iko na hatarini, tafadhali tusonge kwa sababu mvua tunaona inaendelea na ni hatari sana. Kama umeona ya kwamba kuna mahali si mzuri kuishi, tafadhali songa kidogo tu, hakuna makosa kusonga. Ukishasonga kidogo at least maisha itakuwa tutaokoa maisha. Baadaye maneno ya shamba na nini tutakuja kuangalia. Hii landslide shida moja ni kwamba ile ilifanyika Marakwet na Embobut, Marakwet East, Embobut na Endo, lakini pande nyingine yote mpaka Keyo South iko inaendelea. Kuna kidogo landslides kidogo hata leo asubuhi huko Maina, na tunataka kusema ya kwamba wananchi tukue waangalifu sana. Kama viongozi tunawasihi kabisa kwa njia ya unyenyekevu na kwa njia ya heshima na taadhima ya kwamba tafadhali sikia sisi kwa wakati huu, kwa sababu hatari ile iko, tusonge tu. Ukiona tu mahali hakuna makosa, hata kama haitatoka hiyo mawe, songa tu kwanza mpaka hii mvua iishe, alafu tupange maneno mengine.
Watu wamekuwa wakizikwa miaka nenda miaka rudi. Ukifuata historia, such cases imekuwa witnessed. Kwa hivyo tunaenda kuzungumza na serikali na kumsihi Mheshimiwa Rais ambaye pia ni kiongozi ambaye ako na roho ya wananchi, kwamba atufanyie consideration. Ikiwezekana tufanye ile tunaita land for land. Watu waweze kuhamishwa sehemu kama hizi, hapa iwe converted iwe kama forest, alafu watu waweze kusettle mahali ambayo miti iko. Isiwe tunaprioritize sana maneno ya miti mpaka tumesahau binadamu.
Ni vizuri hata hii muda kidogo, hata kama tutakuwa na watu watakuwa na hama kuishi mahali pengine, itakuwa salama, itakuwa bora kuliko.
And Narok Senator Ledama Olekina has declared that he intends to run for the presidency position, saying his leadership would be grounded in honesty and accountability. Speaking passionately about the Kenya's political culture, the senator said true change will only come when its leaders begin to practice what they preach. He maintained that his vision for the country is one where integrity and action replace empty promises.
Mr. Speaker, the day I become president of this country, and that day will come, is the day when we'll be able to practice what we preach. Because today we don't practice what we preach. We preach and preach and preach and forget that yesterday we said ABCD. We have to scan our horizon, our current horizon, to see what is going wrong. Come up with scenarios, build scenarios, and ask ourselves, what if we did this? And the scenario that I want us to build here today, Mr. Speaker, is what if the Ministry of Treasury comes out there during the budget days and reading the budget and says that private sector, you will receive a tax rebate if you employ or if you take in interns to be able to end unemployment. What will happen? Mr. Speaker, this is not quantum physics. The first answer would end unemployment in this country, would reduce unemployed youth who are running around in this country. I was listening to Morfire, and Senator Morfire, Mr. Speaker, if you listen to Senator Morfire, he was actually speaking sense. He said that because of challenges that a lot of youth are facing in this country, they become innovative. They become hackers. They are able to get into your account and continue living a good life. You're working your butt off. And then by the time you go home, you think you have so much money. But because they're unemployed there, they use their skills to be able to get some money for them to continue living their life. So, Mr. Speaker, there are so many things that we talk about in this country, but if the day we practice what we preach.
And now to sports. Nairobi United secure a decisive 3-1 victory over Bandari FC in the thrilling SportPesa Premier League encounter at Dandora Stadium. The win earned Nairobi United 3 valuable points, lifting their position in the league's standings. Now, while Bandari's head coach expressed disappointment at the result, Nairobi United's coach Muyot commended his players, particularly the forwards, for their sharp performance and teamwork that sealed the crucial win.
Penalti nzuri anaomulika wana Bandari. Je, wanamwona Enoch Mumanyi Machaka? Wanachetu. Enoch Mumanyi Machaka amewafunga waliokuwa wajiri wake wa zamani. Kwenda kushambulia sasa, transition nzuri. Duncan Odhiambo Omala amemkanyagia Machaka, wapo wawili. Shami Mwinyi Kibwana, Shami zimefika 3. Akili ni nywele lakini yake.
Okay, second half play maybe corner on score, but you speak for players, stay confident, play good football, on goal score. But second half I come player tired because 14 hours the travel. This normally, but hard luck for my team. On continue for work. Good luck for Nairobi. It is problem for the tire. Problem player I forget because I speak for 14 hour long travel. This problem because big time for recovery. This is 2 days for recovery, for play game strong and big is good big. But for me, I am very happy for my player and continue work for next game inshallah.
Okay, pia as a striker tulikuwa tumewaeleza fact, tulikuwa nao chini jana tukawaambia kwa games saizi tunaona ma-assist sio nyingi and our goals are not many, so nyia strikers mko na changamoto, so you have to step up. Kama you're not giving assists, you need to score goals. So I think pia Karamoa na Deni lazima afunge in the next match, kwa sababu I think for strikers hiyo ndo kazi yao. Kama watafunga afadhali basi wako wana contribute kwa assist, and then hapo ndo tutajua wanafanya kazi, lakini strikers without goal, without assists, then hawatakuwa wanafanya kazi.
And that wraps up on our morning report this morning on the Morning Buzz show. Thank you also for all those who are still sending their comments. Remember, you can also send your comments via our social media platforms. We are live on YouTube at Ndizi TV Africa. So right now, we will head on a short break, but when we come back, we will also be talking about some of the stories that have been making headlines on social media and other platforms. So don't go too far. We will be back shortly.
Unatazama Ndizi TV Afrika.
Being healthy is a strive everybody longs for. Human beings will spend their time online searching remedies for conditions challenging them. Some will go to medical facilities seeking medical help, while others will use herbal means to keep their health hazards. I am Chimutai Kirui, and every week on Afya Yetu, we open the doors for life-changing conversations from wellness and nutrition, preventing diseases, managing chronic illnesses, and even mental health. We bring expert advice, real-life stories, and practical solutions that touch every part of your life. Join me, Chimutai Kirui, on Ndizi TV Africa Afya Yetu Health Show every Friday from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. and be part of the change.
Unatazama Ndizi TV Afrika.
Kila jamii hapa Afrika, yani chini ya jua duniani, ina chimbuko lake. Ndani ya Ndizi TV Afrika, katika kujua utamaduni wako, ndani ya utamaduni Afrika, tutaangazia kila jamii, tukianza na jamii ya Abagusi ambayo iko chini ya Bantu, jamii ya Mkamba, jamii ya Waluo. Vile vile tutaangazia kuhusiana na jamii ya Masai. Tutataka kujua ni mbona jamii inaenzi, ama ni mbona kila jamii inaenzi mila na tamaduni zake, na vipi hizi mila na desturi zina umuhimu gani katika utamaduni. Utapata mpaka leo jamii ya Masai inaenzi sana ufugaji wa mifugo. Kuna jamii ambazo zinaendeleza mila ambazo zimepitwa na wakati, mfano ukeketaji wa wasichana, kitu ambacho jamii nyingi hazienzi kamwe, kukeketa wasichana. Haya yote kuhusu mila na desturi na utamaduni ni ndani ya kipindi Utamaduni Afrika katika runinga unayoienzi, Ndizi TV Afrika, kila siku ya Alhamisi saa 2 usiku. Kipindi kinaletwa kwako na Mwita Peter. Usikose.
Unatazama Ndizi TV Afrika.
Katika maisha ya kila siku, changamoto za kisheria sikosekani. Iwe ni haki zako kazini, masuala ya ndoa, mikataba mbalimbali, hata kwenye ardhi. Karibu kwenye Sheria na Jamii, kipindi kinachochambua masuala ya kisheria kwa undani zaidi. Hapa tutakuwa na wachambuzi wa sheria wa kusaidia wewe mpenzi mtazamaji kuelewa ni kipi kile sheria ya Kenya inasema.
Ni vizuri utumie sheria ambazo zimewekwa, the laws that are in place to help you control the properties even when you are dead.
Kwa mob justice, wale ambao wanahusika katika mob justice wanaweza kuletwa mbele ya mahakama na wakafunguliwa mashtaka, either iwe ni a murder charge or a manslaughter charge.
Kila siku ya Jumapili kuanzia saa 2 hadi saa 3 usiku hapa ndani ya Ndizi TV Africa, nami Jeff Nyakundi. Sheria na Jamii, tukielewa sheria tunajenga jamii yenye haki.
Unatazama Ndizi TV Afrika.
Every Wednesday night, join me for powerful stories and informative stories that will touch your heart and also will be informative on Ndizi TV Africa, where we will be having able and ambitious. Join us as we empower voices that need to be heard and also encourage the inclusive voices in the society, one story at a time. We educate, we inspire, we break barriers and remind the world that disability is not inability. Tune in to Ndizi TV Africa every Wednesday as from 8 p.m. as we celebrate and empower the able and ambitious in our society. Ndizi TV Africa, beyond Africa.
Je, wajua kwamba mapishi si kazi tu ila ni sanaa? Njoo tujifunze mapishi mapya katika runinga ya Ndizi TV Africa. Hapa ndipo tunapika, tunajifunza, tunakula, tunasherehekea na kucheka kidogo. Ungana nami kila siku ya Jumanne kuanzia mida ya saa 2 usiku katika kipindi chetu cha Pishi Bora. Hapa ndipo tutakuwa tunapika vyakula mbalimbali ambavyo vitakuwa vinanukia kama vile mchuzi wa nyanya, tunapika kuku kitunguu, tunapika wet fry na vyakula vingi zaidi. Njoo tujifunze pamoja na tulete ubunifu jikoni katika kipindi chetu cha Pishi Bora. Ungana nami Ronelfa katika kipindi cha Pishi Bora, tulete ubunifu jikoni.
Unatazama Ndizi TV Afrika.
And welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. And it is almost time. We are almost done with our program. But of course, we still do have more stories in store for you. And that is in regards to what is currently happening in the country. And of course, in regards to that, after getting the morning report, it is time to take a look at some of the stories that have been also trending online, where of course we make it easier for you to know what people are talking about, what also Kenyans online, Kenyans on Twitter and many other social media platforms are talking about, and so that you can be ready to begin your day at Ndizi TV Africa across all our social media platforms. 21575 is our short SMS code number. So we have a lot that is actually currently happening in the country, and just to begin with some of the stories that I have been seeing online, there is a video that of course so far we have seen trending online, where President William Ruto actually said that most Kenyans are average thinkers, and he says that Kenyans should actually think excellent and do best for the country. Lakini kwa sasa they are just average thinkers, and that is something that of course most people have commented about. And he was saying that during the summit that he attended in that is in the country, where of course he was talking about when he was giving a speech, and he talked about that. But of course we will be giving you more details later on that story that is trending. But at the moment, a lot has been happening as far as the Kenya national examinations are still ongoing in the country. And in regards to that, so far, in terms of the exam malpractice in the country, as of yesterday, 19 people were already arrested, where we did see 17 students were also nabbed with phones, that is in Marsabit, while they were doing the examinations. And so far, 19 were arrested with 17 phones that were seized, that is in Marsabit, as of course the government continued to deploy many special police units to actually curb malpractice. So far, 19 people, including the examination center managers, have been arrested countrywide in the ongoing Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education examination malpractice. And the special police units have been deployed to curb those, the cheating, exam cheating, and also arrested 5 imposters writing candidates for, writing exams for the candidates at 2 centers in Nairobi and in Kericho. So that is what is actually happening so far. Kuna wale watu ambao wanaenda wanakaa chini wanafanyia wengine mtihani. So far 2 of them, or rather 5 of them, the imposters have been arrested by police officers. And at the same time, the Kenya National Examination Council has also seized 17 mobile phones from students who are sitting for their KCSE in separate incidences, and that is in Moyale and Saku constituencies in Marsabit County. So 17 mobile phones from students. And now at the same time, yesterday being the second day of the KCSE exams, they were marred by the widespread irregularities, and as also the government continues to clarify that examinations would continue, and the affected schools will also continue with the examinations as the investigations continue and the prosecution get underway. So in Siaya, Samburu, Kericho, and Kitui counties, they did lead in the number of suspects that were arrested in regards to the malpractice of KCSE. In Siaya, that is Racha Secondary School topped in the list of shame, with 5 suspects arrested, including the school principal Patrick Omondi, invigilator Paula Kumba, and the center supervisor Victor Amolo, together with the school secretary Faith Odhiambo and the school cook Millicent Awino Oluoch. So that is Racha Secondary School in Siaya County topped in that list, where of course 5 suspects were arrested. And moving on, in Maralal, we have Moi Girls High School also in Samburu County, where also 3 officials were arrested, and the center manager Peter Longono, exam supervisor John Lomweti, and the Dean of Studies Robert Omondi were also among the 3 who were arrested in Moi Girls High School in Maralal, Samburu County. And now coming to Kericho University, Kericho Day Secondary School was also implicated in the cheating malpractice, with the police arresting 3 imposters who were caught sitting exams for candidates. Hiyo ni Kericho Day Secondary School. 3 imposters were arrested who were faking the identity, wakisema kwamba pia wao ni wanafunzi wanafanya mtihani. And Kenyatta University student that is Duncan Kipkemoi Kipkirui was also arrested for writing an exam for a candidate by the name Aaron Kipto Ngeno. Now, the 2, of course, are students, and 2 others, Aaron Kipto Ngeno and Desmond Kipkorir Bet, both students from Kabianga University, were also caught impersonating candidates Geoffrey Kipyegon Bosuben and Amos Korir Kipyegon. So hao watu wawili watatu pale, they were also caught impersonating. So in Nairobi also, there were also people who were arrested in South Sea, Kongoni, where they say they were writing examination for candidates who paid them 30,000 and 20,000 respectively. Kwa hivyo kule in Nairobi, the 2 imposters were already paid and they were sitting for the examination. So 2 examination officers were arrested in Kitui, while Nyamira and Bungoma counties also recorded incidents of exam irregularities. So in Marsabit, 9 students were caught in Sesi Mixed Secondary School in Moyale, where they had mobile phones, with 8 candidates who also were nabbed in Saku. So There was a report that was released by the NEC officials, the police report, saying that NEC officials on duty noticed that candidates using mobile phones and ordered them to surrender their devices. And according to the report, of course, they were actually given the time, or rather they were supposed to give the mobile, hand in the devices or surrender them, if you can use that word. Now, the government also has announced candidates and the schools implicated in the malpractice will continue with the examination. They will continue sitting for the examinations as the investigations and the prosecutions continue. So that is a trending story in regards to what is currently happening in the country, and that is in regards to the Kenya national examinations that are still ongoing, and that is the KCSE exams. So now also we have talked about that, and at the same time the stories that have also been making headlines still on matters education. We did see on the local daily this morning where we have seen the Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi talk about lecturers going back to school or getting back to class, and right now there is a little bit of hope that they might be going back to class after 2 months long strike. So the Treasury has asked the lecturers to accept payment in installment due to the tight budget. That is in quotes, tight budget. So they are saying that while appearing before the Education Committee, that is in Parliament, yesterday we did see the Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migos and John Mbadi, the Treasury Cabinet Secretary. They appeared before the Education Committee in Parliament, where they said that the government is cash strapped right now and it cannot foot the odd 7.9 billion Kenyan shillings at once to all the lecturers. So instead, the CS Mbadi said that the Ministry of Education had requested approval of the payments in 3 installments, which was approved now, but it declined by the University Academic Staff Union, that is UASU, and the Kenya University Staff Union, KUSU. So far, of course, that happened early last week, where we did see the lecturers say that they would not accept to be paid in installments. Now, Mbadi also said that the exchequer, that is the Treasury, also has to commit to a realistic payment plan to also allow the government to settle its owed payments while still keeping the economy afloat. So they cannot be given the whole 7.9 billion when the government is also struggling to balance the mathematics when it comes to the money. So also on the other side, Julius Migos, who is the Education Cabinet Secretary, said that striking unions declined the proposal to receive payments in installments that forced the ministry to go back to the drawing board. Now, they say that they intimated that out of the demanded 7.9 billion Kenyan shillings, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, the SRC, said that only 624 million was payable as arrears. So out of the 7.9 billion, 624 million ndo ingelipwa kwanza, because that is what they have. That is according to the SRC. And UASU so far has maintained that lecturers will abandon lecture rooms mpaka wakati watapatiwa pesa yote. UASU Secretary, that is anaitwa Wasonga, also previously noted that terms must be met before the striking lecturers resume the duties. He also pointed out that the government is reneging on its agreement in the past strikes before striking lecturers resume their classes. And aside from the payment of the 7.9 billion worth of money, Wasonga also maintained that the 2025-2029 collective bargaining agreement must be negotiated, signed, registered, and implemented in totality. Kwa hivyo, kwa sahi, the CRB, or rather the CBA, that they are working towards ni ile ya 2017. You know, and right now to 2025, so they want a new collective bargaining agreement that is for the 2025 to 2029, which must be negotiated, signed, and registered, and also implemented officially or in totality. So in regards to the lecturer strike, but we have some work to do as maybe students bado wanaendelea kaa nyumbani until the lecturers decide if they are going to take in installments or the strike will continue happening in the country. And also on other stories now regarding human rights and also human rights protection in the country, so far the civil societies in the country have called for this resignation of the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi and also Kenya's ambassador to Uganda over the missing activists, that is Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo. So as of yesterday, the human rights activists did call for the immediate resignation of the Foreign Affairs Minister, that is Musalia Mudavadi, and the Kenya-Uganda ambassador Joash Mangi over the failure to address the whereabouts of the activists of Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo. And the civil society also did allege that the duo is being tortured in the solitary confinement in the neighboring country, where on Tuesday marked 36 days after they were abducted. That is 1 month and maybe 5 days. So fellow activists also held demonstrations in solidarity with their colleagues at the Ugandan High Commission in Nairobi to push for the Ugandan government to produce and release the duo as they claim that they are being held in Uganda. So according to these human rights activists, they claim that the health of Njagi and Oyo, Maliwako, the health is really deteriorating, saying that they will not relent to demand justice for their colleagues and they will not rest until their colleagues are actually returned to the country, whether alive or dead. So Oyo also and Njagi are reported to be abducted. They were abducted on the 1st of October 2025 by armed men who are believed to be security officials in Uganda, even as the High Court of Uganda also ruled that the two activists will be categorized as a missing person. So in the ruling that was listened to in October 22nd, 2025, stated that accusations presented against the government of Uganda lacks merit, as arguments presented before the court have also failed to incriminate the accused parties. So the two activists, they joined the National Unity Party platform presidential candidate Bobi Wine's campaign trail. That is what they went to do there when they were reportedly abducted. So the activists and human rights activists in the country and human rights groups in Kenya have also been calling for speedy investigations and the release of the two duo, that is the duo in Uganda. So those are a few of the stories that have been making headlines in the country. And amongst other stories, which includes, of course, the Kenyan shilling that has been trending so far. And experts so far have warned that there is the continuous stability of the shilling, that is the Kenyan currency, may be manipulated. That is according to the experts. And we have seen this in one of the local newspapers this morning. That is the Business Daily, where we did say John Buddy, that is on the Business Daily, he did give his side of the story, saying that, of course, kuna kitu hai add up mahali when it comes to the Kenyan shilling being stable. We have seen the Kenyan shillings ranging at 129.22, 129.24 for quite some time now, and ranging from 128 to 131 in the past 15 months. And the Kenyan currency has been stable against the US dollar, but we did see on the Business Daily that the US dollar, that is the Kenyan shilling, against the euro and the British pound, it is actually weakening. So if the Kenyan shilling is weakening against the that is the euro and the British pound, then what is happening with the US dollar? And according to the CS, John Buddy, he did say that if this shilling was actually moving freely without any manipulation, then as of right now, we would be even, the shilling would have been stronger than before. And that by that he means that it would have dropped to around 118 Kenyan shillings. That would be equivalent to 1 USD. So the shilling is trading at an average of 128 to 131 against the dollar. It is a stability that the experts say it is, that it has been manipulated. And according to the experts, it is unusual for currencies to remain the same level for a protracted period of time, which is so true. And in the first quarter, just about the statistics, in the first quarter of 2024, the Kenyan shillings took its worst hit, significantly depreciating against the USD over 160 Kenyan shillings to the dollar in January, before gaining against the greenback to trade at 144 by mid-February, and then later down to 127 in April 2024. January ilikuwa 160, February 144, and then later on during in April, around April, ikafika 127. Now the currency has since been trading on that average. Tangu ifike 127, then ikaanza sasa kurange with trading with that average of 128 to 131 to the dollar. That of course has continued to date, and this marks a year of Kenyan currency stability so far, and it is now the stability that is put in question by the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, and it is the proclamation for the government fumbling to distance itself from the insinuation of the currency manipulation. And that is according to the economic advisor in President William Ruto's office by the name David Ndii. He says that the stability in the foreign market is not policy driven. So that is according to him. But according to other economists in the country, they do say that there are many reasons towards that, given the stability of the shilling, such as portfolio inflows from infrastructure bonds, tapping into the international Eurobond, and also increased diaspora remittances but of course they still do not explain the stability of the shilling. So, and according to the cabinet secretary, he did say that maybe there might be some manipulation that is happening somewhere in regards to the Kenyan shillings. But of course, that is also another interesting story that we will be taking a look into keenly to understand and make sure that you also get to understand what is happening in today's economy in the country, as we continue giving you more stories and covering more stories from different parts of the country. And just to finish on some of the trending stories in the country as of right now, we have seen that, of course, there are stories about today, what is going to happen today in Homa Bay, where we do see Raila Odinga Stadium being prepared. It was being prepared at night, where we did see, of course, that they are ready for the Baba Memorial Service that is going to be happening today at Raila Odinga Stadium in Homa Bay County. And that is something that we will be taking a look into very keenly to make sure that, of course, we see what actually happens, which leaders are going to be there, and what the ODM party also has in store for us. And we will be taking a look at that later on. So those are a few of the stories that making headlines in the country. It is 45 minutes past 8 a.m. and that is where we wrap up the Morning Buzz show on this Wednesday morning, and hopefully you have gotten to understand some of the stories and get them that is to know what is currently happening in the country. And of course, in regards to matters pertaining the international stories, we also do have a story concerning Sudan, where the war has been ongoing for quite some time, and so far a lot has been happening in Sudan, and many people are talking about it and standing with Sudan. There is a hashtag that has been trending online after seeing many people losing their lives, and there was an aerial shot that was trending also online, especially on TikTok and many other social media platforms, that has been aired by many broadcast media. that is across the world, where of course we have been seeing many people and many South Sudanese injured, others malnourished, and some of the survivors also have escaped from the country, and we have seen that wrangle. And so far the war has been ongoing. It is still ongoing, and many people are praying that maybe everything gets back to how it was, maybe peaceful, but of course that will take some time. So that is in the Sudan's North Darfur. There were many children who was caught there, that is the survivors. They were there who were waiting for surgery, some of them who were desperate from the escape from the city of Al-Fashir, where the paramilitary force actually captured the city, and they are among the 10,000 people who arrived in the town of Tawila after fleeing the country, and after others also got captured by the Al-Fashir, by the Rapid Support Forces, and that is the RSF, which is currently interfering with the peace of Sudan. So those are a few of the stories, and we will be following on that story to make sure that we will give you all the details later on our subsequent bulletins. That is where we wrap it up. Thank you so much for tuning in to our Morning Buzz show today. For those who've been watching us online, that is on YouTube, we do appreciate you so much. We do also ask you to continue following us on our social media platforms at Ndizi TV Africa. And that is where we wrapped up. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Have yourselves a great day ahead. I am Jacinta Nyabeta.